What if I told you that behind the scenes in Los Angeles, a trade is being stitched together by silent hands, sharp eyes, and exposed nerves? What if a name that once shined as one of the deadliest hitters in the American League was being prepped to wear blue and white? Bo Bichette. Yes, that Bo Bichette. And what if, to make it happen, the Dodgers had to give up one of the most promising arms in the league, and a prospect the front office has been developing for years? A high-risk, high-reward trade with potential to shake the very foundation of the season. That's the scenario slowly taking shape between Los Angeles and Toronto. A potential blockbuster move that could detonate in the coming weeks. And you're about to understand why all of this makes more sense than it seems. Since Mookie Betts arrived in LA in 2020, the franchise made it clear to the world. They're not afraid to think big. The trade with the Boston Red Sox wasn't just a masterstroke. It was a statement of intent. Win now, win always. Since then, we've seen names like Max Scherzer, Tree Turner, and Freddie Freeman land in LA. It wasn't just about adding stars. It was about building a constellation. And in 2025, with the arrival of Shohei Ohtani, this looked like the most complete roster modern baseball had ever seen. But even super teams have cracks. And that's exactly where Bo Bichette enters the equation. With Ohtani still being prepped to return to the mound and Blake Snell landing on the injured list, the Dodgers were tested early this season. After a dominant start, they won just one of their last 5 games against National League East opponents. The rotation, once considered one of the deepest in baseball, began to show vulnerabilities, and the defense has been a recurring headache. Mookie Betts, genius that he is, has been stretching himself to play shortstop, but he wasn't born for that position, and he's admitted that publicly. The Dodgers have the right engine, but one of the bolts is screwed too tight and might snap. The solution? A natural shortstop, a player with infield instincts, a name with pedigree. That's where Bo Bichette reemerges as an option. Before we go further, hit that like button if you're loving this deep dive into MLB's inner workings. And subscribe to the channel right now if you want to follow every major move that could shake the Dodgers foundation, told in the same cinematic style. Because here, we don't just report stories, we tell them with soul. On Wednesday, Athlon Sports columnist TJ French dropped a bold proposal. Bo Bichette to the Dodgers, Dustin May and Alex Freeland to the Blue Jays. An all-star swap for a powerful arm and a promising young talent. On paper, it looks balanced, but the subtext of this deal tells a much more complex story. Dustin May is a red-haired enigma, a pitcher who burst onto the scene haunting hitters with fastballs over 98 miles per hour and unreal movement. But injuries stalled his meteoric rise. In 2025, he's returned with solid numbers, showing flashes that he can still be a dominant starter. But there's a clear issue: space. With Ohtani soon returning to mound, and the team backing arms like Bobby Miller, Walker Buehler, and Yamamoto, May might find himself the odd man out. And that's when the cold logic of business starts speaking louder. On the other hand, Freeland is viewed internally as a versatile infielder with real potential to be a starter in the next few years. But Bo Bichette is a ready-made star. Even coming off a rough 2024 season, batting just .225 over 81 games, his track record is hard to ignore. He led the American League in hits in 2021 and 2022. He is one of the quickest swings in MLB, and he's about to hit free agency. Toronto has already hinted they won't extend him. With Vladimir Guerrero Jr. locked up, Bichette seems like the inevitable sacrifice. And if they're going to trade him, they'll want real value in return. And the Dodgers can offer exactly that. Behind the scenes, there's talk that LA's front office has been watching Bichette for over a year. They know the risks. They know he might not bounce back. But they also know that if he does, Bo Bichette could be the missing piece to turn a strong team into an unstoppable machine. Picture an infield with Freddie Freeman at first, Gavin Lux at second, Bichette at shortstop, and Mookie Betts free to return to the outfield. The lineup would include Ohtani, Freeman, Smith, Betts, Bichette. 5 consecutive All-Stars. And that's not even counting the defensive flexibility this gives Dave Roberts. Bichette isn't just a bat, he's a structure. Looking at the numbers, even during his slump, Bichette maintained an above-league average contact speed. His ability to hit into the gaps is still elite. And in a Dodgers lineup, surrounded by elite hitters before and after him, his strikeout rate would likely plummet. Toronto, on the other hand, sees May as a potential number 2 starter, and Freeland as a direct replacement for Bichette, still under rookie control. For them, the trade also makes sense. There's risk on both sides. But what if the trade doesn't happen? The Dodgers risk heading into the playoffs with Mookie improvising in the infield and lingering uncertainty in the rotation. And maybe they miss the chance to capitalize on a talent that won't be on the market for long. If you were in the Dodgers front office, would you make the trade? Would you bet on a Bichette resurgence and give up an arm like May plus a prospect like Freeland? Or would you stay patient and wait for a better fit in the market? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And get ready, because in the coming days, rumors around Max Muncy might heat up. Sources close to the franchise say his future in LA is no longer guaranteed. But that is a story for another video. If you enjoyed this kind of content, you know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because here, we don't just tell the story of baseball. We live it with you. See you in the next video.